A beautiful day, a beautiful day. It's a beautiful Saturday over here in Kenya, East Africa. And look at where I am, surrounded by fruits. I'm eating, I'm eating blackberries. Yeah, I think you can say this. These are blackberries, okay? I've been eating them for the past 30 minutes, bro. These things taste really delicious, okay? So there's a lot of them. This is the good thing about the village, This is the good thing about Africa. You know, this thing, this fruit, I think, yeah, you can just get ripe fruits on a tree and start picking them right away and start eating them right there. Because you know very well, you haven't applied any chemicals, you haven't sprayed any chemicals on those fruits. So these fruits are not intoxicated in any way, okay? And maybe the little dust that settled on the outer surface of the fruit got washed away by the rain. It rained yesterday, so if dust settled on these surface areas, so the rain just washed away all the dust. So guys, I'm enjoying this. Yeah. The thing is, I don't know. I think I'm the only one who really likes eating these fruits here at home, because every single time I come home, I just find them like they are so ripe, extremely ripe, to an extent that some of the fruits fall on the ground. Okay, see, when you encounter these blackberries, these one are the ones which are ripe. But the one like these ones, see these ones, yeah, green and pinkish, those are not ripe. So these black ones, the ones that are dark in color, those are the ones you target, because those are the ones that are ripe properly. So it's wow, man, I can eat this thing all day, bro, all day, man. I don't know what berries are good for. Okay, what minerals do they exactly supply? Is it iron? Iron is good for your bones, right? Yeah, iron is good for your calcium, is good for your bones, and then iron is good for your blood, something like that. And I think these berries are rich in iron. So right now I am actually ingesting I am ingesting a huge source of iron. So these things are going to be broken down in my body, and they are going to be transformed into iron. So I am nourishing myself, I am enriching my body with iron right now, and that is going to be very good for my blood. Okay, very good for my blood. I don't know, we're supposed to have healthy blood, because if you have healthy blood, then it means your red cells, your red blood cells, your white blood cells are going to be healthy. But if you have unhealthy blood, your blood is your blood is lots of intoxicants. Your blood is not, you encounter these problems, lots of problems. Yeah, because blood is very important. Like, blood is the I think blood is the blood is the only fluid that never really get excreted from your body. Yeah, I think that's right, huh? So it's very important that you be cognizant of what you eat, and how what you eat is going to affect your blood. So you don't want your blood is your fuel, man. Blood is your fuel. Blood is your fuel. You lose blood, bro, If you lose blood, you can't function properly. You cannot function properly. That is why when you're sick and they take you to the hospital, the first thing they check is, yeah, they run tests to determine whether you got enough blood in your body. And if you don't have enough blood in your body, they do try to give you more blood, because blood is very important. You don't want your blood to be infected. You don't want toxic elements in your blood. You want clean blood. And by eating such fruits, these blackberries, you're actually enhancing the health of your blood. So guys, and there should be organic. There is a lot, bro. Look at that. There is black everywhere, and I love this. I really love this. Yeah, so guys, you should be really cognizant. Okay, health is very important. You should be cognizant of your health. You should be very, very keen, because we only live once. Okay, we only live once. So you don't want to spend most of your time, running in and out of hospitals, getting transferred from one hospital to the next hospital just because your body is unhealthy. Just be healthy. Where health is wealth. Yeah, people are out there, you know, trying to make millions of dollars, billions of dollars, building empires and creating generational wealth, but do not do that at the expense of your health. Yeah, I think there's a famous quote. I might butcher it, but somebody said an 8-year-old wants, okay, an 8-year-old wants to be a 20-year-old, and a 20-year-old wants to be an 8-year-old with all the possession that they have. Okay, so and a 20-year-old is trying to be rich, and they are doing everything in their power. They are losing sleep, they are eating fast food because they are trying to save time so that they get work done on time. They are cutting sleep. They are sleeping maybe 5 or 3 hours. They are really, really risking their health by pushing their bodies to the limits that are unnatural. Okay, so they want to be rich, they want the life, they want to buy those yachts, they want to buy those fancy watches, those fancy cars, but they forget that the most precious thing anybody can have or pray for is health. So guys, just be cognizant of your health. If you have fruits, yeah, if you have a place, if you have a garden in your backyard or in your compound, plant a few fruits and make sure that you take care of them. Do not spray lots of chemicals. Yeah, just try to make as organic food and fruits as possible. Try to do that. Yeah, because yeah, I told you, yeah, life at the village can be pretty, yeah, it can be pretty challenging sometimes, but most of the time you yeah, things are not really difficult, because like right now, look at the I told you about this fruit, the purple pulp. Okay, yeah, the maize is really, 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 yeah, the maize has really grown tall. Look at me in the maize farm. Yeah, I remember last time I was showing you this maize farm, and the maize was this tall. I don't know if you can see. The maize was this tall, right? Yeah, back then, right? You remember that now? Look, the maize is taller than me. I am short. I think I am 5'5", 5'5", 5'6". Yeah, I am 5'5", 5'6". On a good day with platform shoes, I can, yeah, I think I can make 5'7", 5'7". So my target is to just get to 6, and if I grow to be 6 feet tall, that will be okay with me. So guys, I'm telling you, like for example, look at this fruit. There's a fruit up here. You see, do you see this huge tree? Yeah. So this is the purple pulp, and it is ripe up there. But the problem is, I cannot, like, I don't know how to climb these trees anymore. If I had a ladder, yeah, I could have used it and go up there and eat some of these fruits. They are very delicious. They are very, very good. So right now, the only creatures that enjoy these fruits are the birds. Okay? So the birds come here, they eat until they get satisfied. Okay? You see? This is how they look. 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 So guys, yeah, that is life back here in the village. Yep. I just want to take as much time here as possible, experience the village, enjoy everything, so that when I go back to the city, I go back to grinding and eating fast food and worrying about my water bill and my electricity bill and my rent and dirty water. I just want to have the best experience in the village. But my end goal is to actually make something here. A decent building, because my end game is not to stay in a busy place. I just want yeah I want a place where I can come from time to time, just to rewind, to unwind. A place I can come to unwind and just sit there and think about life, watch the birds, enjoy the fruits. The fruits, I was telling you, these are all fruits. These are all fruits, okay? These are all fruit. Nobody even eats them, okay? Because there are too many. There are too many fruits over here. So nobody even bothers. Like, look, there's that tree I was showing you. See that big tree? Yeah, that big tree. And then there's this tree. They have the same type of fruit. But nobody even bothers going up there eating those fruits, because uh people are people are satisfied most of the time. Yeah, there are berries right there, there are mangoes right there, and then there is cassavas over here. So guys, like, bro, people are not like you guys who say, oh, there are these Americans who have okay. I don't want to say that they have a total misrepresentation of okay, they have a complete misinterpretation or misconception of Africa. But there are some people who spread the narrative that Africans are dying of poverty. It's not everywhere, okay? It's not everywhere. Some people are not like there are people who are living their best lives in Africa. Like, okay, they can eat whatever they want. They can eat whatever they want. Look, there is food all over the place. Food all over the damn place, okay? So you have to question what these journalists tell you. If you're from the West, if you're from out there, you have to question what these people tell you, because sometimes they they do spread fake news. The headlines they use is just to make sure that they get as many people to click on that particular headline as possible. So they use these huge and scary words for clickbait. But that is not the case. That is not what is happening in Africa. Look, there's food, and then in a few months, the maize is going to be ready. There's maize over there. There's maize over there. Look, bro. Then there's a cassava farm behind me. There's a potato farm right over here. And then right over here, yeah, these are groundnuts. Okay, these are groundnuts. So I sometimes just, and I really, really get disappointed, when people say that people are dying all over in Africa. No, not really. There are people who are experiencing difficulties, challenges, but as Africans, we are working on that. Okay, we are working on that as Africans. Okay, I am very pleased with how some of our African leaders have started approaching leadership. Okay, people have stopped thinking that, people have relinquished and abandoned the mentality that the West has to come to save us. Okay, I am so happy that that some of African leaders are actually telling the West to go back. Okay, they don't need them, and that is what I have always wanted us to do. We want us to believe in ourselves. Okay, because the moment you get it into your head that nobody is coming to save you, that is when you start doing whatever that it takes, whatever that is possible, to get yourself out of that difficult situation. And that is exactly what our African leaders such as Ibrahim Traore, is showing everybody else, that guys, we don't need the West, we don't need their aids, we don't need their loans, we don't need these. We can be sufficient. We can be self-sufficient as Africans. We can create our industries. Okay, we can make the best infrastructure, energy infrastructure, communication infrastructure, transport infrastructure, and we can develop our countries. We can strengthen our economies. Okay, the African economy can be as formidable as some of the Western countries. Okay, yeah. So I am really, really happy. I am really, really happy. And I don't like what the West is doing. I don't like what the West is doing. Especially, there is this American General Michael Langley. I don't know who is using him to interfere with our independence and political enlightenment in Africa. I don't know who is using him, because that guy was in Burkina Faso the other day, and I don't know what he did or what he said that pissed off Ibrahim Traore. I don't know if you all know that Ibrahim Traore is regaining possession and ownership of the gold mine over there in Burkina Faso. So Ibrahim Traore is told politely, I don't know, politely or impolitely, he has told the French settlers and the French media, and other French associates, to just leave Burkina Faso and never to come back. They don't need them over there. And Ibrahim Traore is doing the best he can to buy back those gold mines from the foreign owners. So Michael Langley started, I don't know, just out of the blue, Michael Langley started accusing Ibrahim Traore of misusing the gold of Burkina Faso. Michael Langley is a general of the United States of America. I don't understand what business exactly Michael Langley has with African resources. I don't know why. Okay, I don't understand why he has never said such a thing when the French were running things and other foreigners. But now that Ibrahim Traore is putting affair under control, and he is developing a vision that is primarily focused on the development of Burkina Faso and Africa as a continent, all of a sudden the people from the West have a problem. Okay, they have a problem. See, there are lots and lots and lots and lots of things that the government of the USA, I am not attacking the people of the United States of America. You're good people, but your government is doing some things that are really, really pissing people off over here in Africa. The government of the United States should leave Africans alone, man. And Ibrahim Traore chased this General Langley out of Burkina Faso. Guess where Michael Langley found refuge? He came over to Kenya, and then he was given a platform by a Kenyan national television and he started spreading his stupid propaganda and everything, okay? But the Kenyan mass, the people of Kenya saw through the fucking facade and they cast him on social media, because Kenyans and other Africans understand that the only hope Africa has right now is in the individuals such as Ibrahim Traore. So we have to support Ibrahim Traore with everything that we got, bro. So we cannot allow individuals such as Michael Langley to come over to Africa or Kenya and then start using our media as some sort of a propaganda machine. No, we are not going to do that, okay? We are going to stop him. We are going to rebuke him, and we are going to tell him to stop. And that is exactly what we did yesterday, okay? So it is something that Africa is experiencing. I think it's a political enlightenment. And it's only the unpopular government of Kenya that is in support of most of the American policies and individuals such as General Michael Langley. But the people of Kenya and other Africans are not in support of such individuals, because they do understand that we have paid a huge price just to let Americans and other countries from the West come into our countries and set up shop and start doing their operations here. It is not, like, bro, it has taken a toll on Africans, man, because our resources are going out there, okay, to manufacture chips, to manufacture electric vehicles, to manufacture some components in the artificial intelligence, and those things are hell of expensive, and those are the things that are running and sustaining and enhancing and improving the economy of the West. So we cannot allow that. We cannot allow our resources to be taken out and then let them be processed and add some value and then be brought back to Africa and sold to us in extremely high prices. We are not going to let that happen. We are not going to let our resources go and fuel economies of other continents. We are coming to a position whereby we are coming to a place whereby we demand our leaders for accountability. Yeah. You see what happened in Kenya, what has been happening in Kenya for a while now, these riots, these demonstrations, these protests, activities. This is not political instability. I saw some blogger from the West say that, hey, Europeans and Americans, please do not go over to Kenya. You're being warned. The country is experiencing a significant degree of political instability. No, it's not political instability. What you're experiencing in Kenya is not called political stability. It's called political tension. And political tension is whereby individuals or citizens of a country demand accountability from their administration. And it is a good thing, because that shows that that country has a high level of political intelligence. Okay? We as a country, as Kenyans, are coming to a place whereby we have realized that salvation of our country, the salvation of our economy, the salvation of our infrastructure, the salvation of our our culture, the salvation of our honor as a country depends with what we do as a country, not what a few leaders do over there in the state house. No, not that. Because those guys, we have realized that they are mostly selfish. And the only thing they care about is their stomachs and their welfare. But they do not care about us. So we as a people have risen up and we have spoken as one. And we have said that We are going to take charge. We are going to be cognizant. We are going to participate in the administration of our country, because this thing is supposed to be representative democracy, okay? But the ones who are representing us in the parliament don't have our best interest at heart. So we are going to tell them, to remind them of what they say they are going to do. We are going to remind them of our interests as people. That is what you're seeing over here in Kenya. It's not what you call. It's not that. It's not something bad. It's actually something very, very good. Because you guys, you Americans have come a very, very long way. You've come a long way, and yes, you tend to think that your country is better than us, but I'm sorry to say this, but you really are not. You guys are not better than us. You are not, okay? You are not, because considering the amount of time you've had as a considering the amount of time you've had to develop as a free country, if you compare the time you've had to develop as a free country to the time most of African countries have had to develop as free countries, it doesn't make sense. It does not even come close. You have had almost 2 centuries, 2.5 centuries to develop as a country. But most of African countries have had only 60, 70 years. The oldest country in Africa is Liberia. And Liberia got it, yeah, in 1880 what? 1887. It got independence in 1887. And if you look at that, America, I mean, if you even compare the time that the oldest country has had to develop with the time that America has had to develop as a country, they don't even come close, bro. Like, you still have a century plus year, I mean a century plus a couple of years of development ahead of the oldest country in Africa, bro. So you cannot come over here and tell Africans what to do, okay? You can't really do that. You can't tell us that democracy should be this, democracy should be that, democracy should be, yeah, this is how you do this. No, bro. You haven't figured out a lot. You yourself, Americans, still have huge problems in your country. Homelessness is an issue. Education disparities is an issue. I can't believe it. I can't believe that Americans or the federal government, hundreds of thousands of dollars in student debt. You can't even provide your citizens with free education. You can't even provide your citizens with decent houses. You can't even, like, your geopolitics suck. Bro, you are still in deep shit, man. You are still in deep shit. You don't have equality, bro. You're still struggling with racial and social, justice. Like, you are still in the bushes, just like Africa. And I am not trying to, dude, I am doing this knowing that I am comparing the USA and African countries, knowing that America is a huge country. America is almost the size of, America is almost half of Africa. America alone. So with that, with that magnitude of with those many people come great, bigger responsibilities. Those people are too many, and it's very complicated to rule a country such as America. It's very, very difficult, very, very complicated to govern that country. But at the end of the day, we just don't like people, Americans, sending their journalists here to get some sort of ego boost. No, we are not going to allow that. We are not going to allow you to come over here to Uganda and start insulting the president of Uganda. You come over here, you start criticizing our presidents, scrutinizing our government, and ridiculing our countries. We are going to allow that. If Americans, if you want to interview our leaders, come here with open-minded. Okay, come here being open-minded. Ask them questions. Okay, respect them. Don't come here like, pretending to have everything figured out, bro. Start telling us what to do. Don't, okay? Like, you compare the country such as Uganda and the United States of America, the democracy of Uganda, you compare the democracy of Uganda with the democracy of the USA. Do you know how many presidents the USA has had? 46 presidents, bro. 46 presidents. Uganda has only had 8 presidents. And the only president that has brought a little bit of stability in Uganda is President Museveni. So although he has been there for a very long time, for almost, 34 years, right? He has been there for 34 years, but Museveni has brought stability in Uganda. And with that stability, Uganda has experienced, some level of progress, okay? Which is not trivial, okay? There are some countries which are still struggling. There are some countries which are still struggling, countries such as DRC Congo, countries such as Somalia, okay? So if you compare Uganda and Somalia, although you call the president of Uganda a dictator, but bro, the dictator has done something. The dictator has brought some stability over there, and he has established infrastructure, transportation transport infrastructure. Yeah, people live in peace. People, like, there is a structure in that country, and people obey the law. That is what matters. People are not dying in Uganda. People are not dying right now as we speak in Uganda. But if you go to countries such as Somalia, the Congo, Ethiopia is fighting with Eritrea every single day. Nobody is even telling you that. Nobody is telling you that. Because nobody cares. But you're looking at this one guy over here that, this guy has been in power forever. You're supposed to, to relinquish. You're supposed to, to allow other people to be president. Bro, like, stop that, okay? You claim that Africans, like, we like rigging the election, that we are not honest and transparent when it comes to issues with election. You yourself have those problems. You have those problems. So, dude, okay, so stop coming over here and telling us, bro, you have bigger problems in your country. Go solve those problems. Go pay off your debt, bro. You have 34 trillion in debt. And just the other day, you tried to borrow more money from Qatar, bro. You have started borrowing money from Qatar? Bro, like, Qatar is just, bro, Americans, look at that. You are borrowing money from Qatar. Can you believe that? Qatar is just like, is a very small Middle Eastern country. You guys are giants. And now you're borrowing money from there? Like, your economies, the economy of California rivals the economy of Japan. You're supposed to do something with all that money, man. You still, like, $34 trillion in debt, bro. We only have like a couple of $billion, man. Okay, we are small. I know we are small. But since you started this game trying to compare us with you, bro, like, yo, stop that, okay? Stop that. Yeah. We know we are still developing as a country. We know that African countries have a long way to go, but we do not want to be pressurized. We do not want to be disrespected. We don't want to be insulted by the West. We don't want to be looked down upon. We don't want that. We should be respected. We should be respected. We are where you are during 1826 to 1876. Okay? We are in that time frame. We are figuring things out. Do you know what happened during that period? America had a civil war. You had a civil war. Out of the 13 presidents that you had for 50 years, you had only one decent president, and that was Abraham Lincoln. That was Abraham Lincoln, bro. And that is the only that is the only president who brought some unity in the United States of America. The guy is the one who made sure that the southern states do not secede. Abraham Lincoln, he is the one who brought the vision that America is one country, not not several sovereign states, and that is why he pushed the idea that okay, federal, he's the one who strengthened the federal government. That's Abraham Lincoln. He is the one who connected the East Coast with the West Coast using the transcontinental. I think it's transcontinental railroad. He is the one who led America through the Civil War. He's the one who stopped the thing, bro. He is the one who made sure that the border states stay loyal to the USA. And what did you do to Abraham Lincoln? You Americans, you killed that guy. You kill that guy, okay? The Civil War ends today. Tomorrow you're killing Abraham Lincoln. You assassinated Abraham Lincoln, okay? So talk about democracy. Africa, like Kenya, we haven't killed anybody. Kenya, we haven't killed. We have not assassinated any president in power. We haven't. We haven't done that, okay? So you guys should really stop, okay? You should really stop with this narrative you're spreading that, oh, Africa this, oh, Africa that, oh, Africa needs help. Yes, we need help, but we have just realized that we don't need help from you, okay? We need help from ourselves. We need to help ourselves. We need to start thinking differently, okay? We need to make sure that all the people that are stealing money over here and then sending them to your banks over there, and then that money starts fueling your economies, are arrested and they are charged and they are taken to prison if necessary, or even eliminated for good. We are not gonna play anymore, bro. We are not gonna play, because yeah, we are not gonna play. And if you are going to bring this to send people like General Michael Langley, I don't know who is sending him over here to Africa to mess with our affairs, to interfere with our affairs. Okay, if you keep doing that, then we might just, as an entire African continent, do exactly what Burkina Faso did. Okay, we will do exactly what Burkina Faso did: exile every single person who is trying to interfere with our affairs as Africa. We don't want to be playing these games no more, because we have realized the more we keep calm and we try to be, kind and generous and welcoming and courteous, you are going to just belittle us all the time. We are going to be disrespected by you. So guys, yeah, you can look at the maize now. The maize is really coming up. I know I have disappointed some people, but I really wanted to get that off my chest. And from now on, I think my videos are going to be very political. I'm going to be very political in this video. So if you don't like political content, if you don't like political topics and you don't like political conversations, maybe it's time, you grow a tough skin. You grow a tough skin and we start talking about these things, because yeah, things are not. Yeah, Americans and the other Western countries, you are really getting on our nerves, okay? We are not, you're not paying us the respect that we deserve. Just because we accept a few dollars from you does not mean you have the right to treat us however you like. It does not mean you have the right to insult us. Okay, it does not mean that you have the right to come and abuse our countries. Why do we, as Africans, why do we need visas to come to your country, and you don't need visas to come to our country? You don't need visas to come to most of our countries. Why is that the case? Okay? Because you think that it is a privilege for an African to visit the West. And you also think that it is a privilege for Africans to receive people from the West as visitors. Bro, we know, man. We are not going to accept that. We're not going to accept that. From today, we are going to challenge that narrative. We are going to challenge every, we are just going to challenge everything. If you're not going to respect us, then get the fuck out of here, man. If you're going to come here and interfere with our vision for our continent, then get the fuck out of here. Okay? We don't need you. Why do we need French mining companies in our continents, in our countries? Why do we need it? Why do we need, American mining companies extracting oil in our continent? Why do we need it? Why do we need American companies building huge highways and handling huge projects such as constructing airports and constructing airports and railways? Why do we need it? Why do we need it? That is something that we can do. We have engineers over here. And we have engineers, and we can buy equipment, and people can actually do that. But the problem is that you want to be doing all the important work and take all the money to your country and leave us with nothing. Pay us, minimum wage. That is what you think. You think all we are good for is labor, minimum wage. No, man. We want top dollar, bro. We want top dollar. So we are going to fight for that. And if you're going to send the likes of, Langley, General Michael Langley over to Africa to create division and interfere with our vision, we are going to tell him right away, man, you gotta get the fuck out of here, man, because we don't need you. We don't fucking need you. And that is exactly what we stand by. And those governments, those unpopular governments that America is working with, yeah, we as a people, we as citizens, we are working on that. We are going to remove those motherfuckers from power with whatever it takes, man. Yeah, it gets to a point you gotta do what you gotta do. And that is exactly what we're gonna do. We are gonna do what it takes to remove those people who don't have the best interest, who do not want to work for the citizens from office. That is exactly what we are gonna do. So guys, I know most of you did not enjoy this video, but it is what it is. And yeah, you can see the maize. The maize is really tall. And the beans, look at, you can see the beans is there, the beans are there. Yeah, I think last week we harvested some beans and we've been eating it. Yeah, we are not dying of famine in Africa, man. We are farming, okay? We are farming. So tell your people they can keep your day, so tell your people they can keep their damn aid, okay? Yeah, we are going to develop our own vision as Africa. We are going to, to engineer our societies based on our culture and values, African values, not based on, not based on sexual, sexual orientation. We are going to engineer our societies based on African ideas, African values, African culture, and the values of our ancestors, not based on sexual orientation and some identities, confusing we are not going to do that. We are not going to do that. We are going to develop infrastructure, okay, that is inspired by African environment, okay? We want that. We don't want to be like Europe, okay? We want to have a distinct vision like Dubai. Dubai had a very distinct vision. Dubai, a couple of years ago, Dubai was just some place in the desert. Right now, Dubai is one of the most developed places in the world, okay? And they did not copy anybody. They did not copy anyone. They just got serious and they decided to do something incredible, to be serious about their affairs, and they created their own vision and they actualized it. And that's exactly what we want to do. We want to create our own vision as Africans. We don't want to build, domes and be like Europe and this and no. We are going to make our own shit, guys. I'm out. Bye. I'm back to eating my damn fruits. My damn fruits. My damn fruits. Yeah. Hope I see you next time. Don't run away.